Shalom. Paperwork. This is going to be a new series I'm going to be doing titled Paperwork. And in this particular one, it's an order that was just passed September 12th, 2022 by the Biden administration. And as you can see right here, this is paperwork, right? Because his signature is on it. And this is paperwork on the reality of this order, which this signature is too. This is an order. So let's get the order. As you see right here, executive, the title of the name of the order, executive order on advancing biotechnology and biomanufacturing innovation for a sustainable, safe, and secure American bioeconomy. Before I get going into this call, Halam La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Chakwadash, double honors to the hopefully like elder apostles slave to be saved. Lord, want to start with the elder men, on down to the rest that at the great millstone, on down to the rest that may be out here and been out here under the same doctrine, on to the Akim, doing likewise. To use all of y'all, Shalom, to the Akim here at this faction of this hopefully like the assembly doing what they need to do according to the scriptures and the order. Shalom, and to the rest of the Akim doing likewise, and to the rest of the beautiful believers and on this beautiful faith. All right, true faith and sincerity. So, in this, volume or installment, or edition of paperwork, this particular order by the, issued down, as basically being a seen desire of the elites that run everything through the Biden administration to the American people and onward to the rest of the globe, because America influenced the globe, right? All the other countries based off what they do, right? To change the infrastructure of this place and to get this place obviously going into towards the direction of, the kings of the earth, which is these elite global banking families, which obviously is that, NWO ultimately manifested, or be seen as completely being manifested for the most part, but Esau just keep going. But simply once they get that permanent marker, on people's, skin, which all these things are steps and aids to, but nonetheless, in this particular one, this order, right, is off top. We're just jumping straight to it. And section 1 is automatically geared towards, I'll say this, it's exposing that in the very beginning of the order. You could just look it up. So I have some things right here from that particular part. So they want to obviously come with the biotechnology, the biomanufacturing. They want to do these things, right? Because that's not the point I really want to push. But because I'm gonna do an update on this, a gradualism update, which is another series I do. But nonetheless, as you see in this instance, I have indentions on. It says the economic activity derived from biotechnology and biomanufacturing is referred to as the bioeconomy, quote unquote, the bioeconomy, the C119, right? The cornerback, number 19. All right. Pandemic has demonstrated the vital role of jumping to the point. It says the things that I want to point out was the economic activity. So this is economic, it deals with the managing of financial affairs, right? Just to give a briefing of what this thing about, and the bioeconomy. So they're gonna take the economy, which when you go into the word economy, it breaks down into, or it goes in, just simply means the things that deals with the financial, financial affairs, the management of the financial situation of a place or people, right? So they want to take that and pretty much contribute. They want to gear it towards. It's like they want to create a new one that's based upon bio, right? Bio goes into life, living organisms, people, right? It says, and the next thing it goes on to, I noticed that they push that they want to protect the Americans, right, and the world. But this is an American executive order, an executive order from, for the citizens and to the citizens of America. So what does the world have to do with this? So that tells you this is a step towards some global enterprise they want to achieve. What's the NWO? But anyway, when you jump to the next one, it says, I got biotechnology, biomanufacturing can also be used to achieve our climate and energy. So they want to use these particular things to achieve something, right? Which is there, seen in the word our, right there, our, right? And climate, energy goals. So that's what they're pushing. This whole carbon footprinting, eco-friendly, all this madness, right? And also the energy, which is that's seen in the climate, but the energy, which is an energy crisis, being orchestrated right now throughout the globe, ultimately through the Heavenly Father. But nonetheless, jumping into this is just something I want to just put out there real quick. When you read this highlighted portion, it goes into talking about how they want to. Let me just read a little bit of it. It says, for biotechnology and biomanufacturing to help us achieve our goals, our societal goals. But so what did the world have to do with that, right? So it's bigger than just America, right? It says the United States needs to invest, and this is dealing with the money, which we know the money is it's being collapsed as we speak, and it's about to go away, and they're about to replace it, right? The new trading currency is going to be that, that marker, man. All right. But anyway, and this is clearly like giving credence to that, what they call a theory, but it's prophecy. It's in the scriptures, right? We got paperwork on it. That's the number one paperwork. But anyway, it says that you so-called white people, you Edomites you're trying to do this. You're gonna, you have it set in you, to achieve this, right? It's in the paperwork, man. But nonetheless, when you move on, it says the United States needs to, I'm gonna read it from the top, for biotechnology and biomanufacturing to help us achieve our societal goals. The United States needs to invest in foundational scientific capabilities. We need to develop genetic engineering technologies and techniques to be able to write circuitry for cells. Now, when you go into that word circuitry, right, this is what you get. It says, what is another word for circuitry? It says right here, integrated circuit translates to what? Microchip. See? And what's also within this order is the silicon chip, which they have this pretty much in continuity with another order that he passed, which is the CHIPS the CHIPS Act, which is another executive order. So this one is continuing. It's in thought of the idea of that act. So all of these orders, they go together. There's steps to a certain, it's like a pathway, steps to create a pathway that leads you to, or ends you up if you walk it, in this one place, this one destination, which we know is the MOTB, right? But anyway, so they want to be able, they said they want to be able to write circuitry for cells. See that? And predictably program biology in the same way which we and predictably program biology in the same way which we write software and program computers. Unlock the power of biological data, right? And that's just a few things, which that predictably programmed biology situation, that's going into a whole nother thing. But remember, all of this is geared towards bio. Bio goes into people. All of this is concerning bio, right? Bio economy. It's pretty much is an article out there that pretty much says, I believe it's Forbes. They called this the DNA age. So this order is tapping into what? Man, let's read this. Simultaneously, this is all in section 1. So that's what it's about. This is all about pretty much tapping into creating a situation for human life that concerns the economy, right? And then they just threw in there the climate, right, and energy situation. But the energy situation goes in, or they just threw in there the energy concern, and the energy concern goes into your electricity bills. So that's fine. That's money, right? That's the economy. So all of this is dealing with the concern for the economy, which is financial, right? Progress, right? Stability, situation, right? State, financial state, which they're pretty much being concerned with through looking into people's bio. That's odd. That's in section 1. Now, when you read this also in section 1. Simultaneously, we must take concrete steps to reduce biological risks associated, right, with advances in biotechnology. So they know they putting out there is risk, and it's associated with the advances in biotechnology. So they're about to take biotechnology, which is already here, to another level, which could be risky, right? And to say the least, all of this order, in this first section of this order, which I'm getting to now, is Jake bio is the one they're concerned with. So-called Black, Latino, Native American, Indian people bio is the one they're concerned with, and concerns regarding their financial state, right? Their financial growth, as the so-called white man's financial state, financial growth, as a ruler with an empire, with a kingdom that is influencing the whole globe, right? He's concerned with that through Jake's bio, the Hebrew Israelites bio. What do your bio have to do with your sales and all that? What does that have to do with his financial situation? Because the financial situation is about to change into one that runs off people's bio. And the main people that he has an agenda for or in thought of to complete this agenda or this enterprise are the Hebrew Israelites, according to Revelation 13-16. This is in the what? The paperwork. Let's read it real quick. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And you see it's in all of these translations. right? You can find this in the papers of all these different Bibles translated, right? For a certain type of understanding, right? Either the clearer one or a diluted one, which the KJV, which we're going to read, is the number one, or it's the authorized one. So according to the papers in the KJV, the authorized Bible, which is God's word, right? Let's read it. Let's read this paperwork that this is the case. And he calls it all, both small and great. Who's the he? Obviously a so-called white man calls it all. That goes into force, right? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now let's jump up and just read some of these other ones, right? This is in the NIV. It also forced all people, right? Great and small. So you gotta go forced. It took he out, right? But that he is going into the beast. The beast system ran by a he, and the he being a so-called white man, right? So that's why it says it, the system that they have set up, which is that beast is NATO and the EU today, right? Which is headed with America, and pretty much dictated by America. It says it all forced all people. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or their foreheads. All right, you could just read all of these. Right, it's in the paperwork. Right, it's in the CEV. All people were forced to put a mark on their right hand or their forehead, whether they were powerful or weak, rich or poor. And that's, you see, that was almost a good one, but it's not, because it says on. No, it's going to be in, right? The beast forced, right? All of that, but that's, once again, going back to the KJV, it has it right, and he calls it all, both small and great, so-called white man, right? Which Joe Biden is his administration is of, right? And this is gonna help be played out through his, right, executive order that we have paperwork on. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the main people they're concerned with is who? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is going into what? Let's read it. KJV. And that no man might buy or sell, right? Where do you buy and sell at? In the economy, a society. Save the economy has to be set up. And, it has to have a currency to do that, right? But anyway, save he that had the mark. So you're not going to be able to any longer use the currency you may have been using to buy or sell, unless in this new economy, this new society, unless you have this mark, which this mark has said to be put in you. So that goes into your bio. See that? Or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And the main people he has in mind and this is how he's going to, this is how the so-called white man is going to continue his financial stability, his financial dominance throughout the globe with his empire he has set up, right? Which all of this is through the desires of the elite bankers that run America all the way from Europe, right? They set up America, first of all, but nonetheless, to stay on the point, this is how they're going to ensure that, This is how they're this is you know how they're gonna do that. Because the one they have set up right now is crumbling. Because it was fake money, and they're crumbling it intentionally right now on top of that anyway, because they know that. Right? So before that happens, they have a new world order. Right? Another act of deceit they're gonna try to, achieve. But that's the point, man. So the main people they're concerned with people's bio in order to get this new economy situated, to get this economy back financially stable, right? Moving in the direction they want it to move. And this is that's how they're gonna do it. And the main people's bio they worry about is the Israelites, because these are the main ones who can't take this. These are the people who cannot take this mark. Period. So when we come back here in section 1, it's gonna say it, right? And the point pretty much proven once you see this. It says we need to invest back at the top and promote. We need to invest. See that? They're going to invest, right? Promote, right? As it says, biosafety, biosecurity. I'm gonna just read the highlighted ones. We invest, promote to ensure, right? Biotechnology is developed and deployed, which is what this order is about. Why? And international best practices. See that? So they worrying about this working, how they are setting this up to work here, and the things that this concern here. They have, methods for how they're gonna have this pretty much extend outward over the seas outside of America and internationally. So this sounds like that all, and he calls it all. See that? Deliberate. It says ways, lead. See that? That's what they focused on. They finding ways to lead, right? Or that could lead, or that will lead. Deliberate harm to people. See that? You got animals. Ways that lead. Deliberate harm to people, animals. As I said, I'm gonna get all the, indented ones, the ones with indentions. It says the environment. So he has his financial agenda concerns. He got the prosperity of his financial ventures, right? Endeavors, and vision, enterprise, based upon people's anatomy, biology, right? And also the earth, right? The environment. See that? Which that could go into, satellites, things like that. Because it says technology, right? It says foreign, use. So they they have this in mind with overseas. That's all outside of America. That's going into all. As it said in the beginning, foreign use means to acquire United States technologies. So they're pretty much putting out there that these other countries, these other heathen nations, they're practicing or coming up with infrastructure of this, right? A plan, a method, a rollout like this. For what? See that? Means to acquire United States technology, data going to what? The UPC codes, right? But anyway, it says, or QR codes, it says including biological data. See that? Because they're going to take people's biological data and insert it into that QR code, right? Which threatens national security. We must ensure, this the point, that uses are ethical and responsible. It says that uses are ethical, are centered, listen to this, on foundation of equity, consistent with Executive Order 13985. What is that? Of January 2021. Whatever it was just passed this year. Well, last year. Advancing, and who was in office last year? Trump. So what Trump did is being continued by Biden's administration. But anyway, it says advancing racial equity and support for undeserved communities through the federal government. See that? Jumping to the point, especially, they said resources should be invested justly and equitably so that the biotechnology and biomanufacturing technologies benefit all Americans, especially those in undeserved communities. See, that's so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. If we're equal, this is about, us being equal. Why do y'all always point us out? Because we're the Hebrew Israelites, as well as the broader global community, because Israelites scattered everywhere. To achieve these objectives, it is the policy of my administration, right? To do all these things listed right here. All right. I want to show you something also in this. It says for biotechnology at the top and biomanufacturing to help achieve our societal goals, the United States needs to invest in foundational scientific capabilities. We need to develop genetic engineering. When you go, which I was supposed to read this right before the circuitry thing, right? But when you go into the genetic engineering, it says genetic engineering, also called genetic modification, is a process that uses laboratory-based technologies to alter the DNA makeup of an organism. So this goes into that God gene, which is pretty much them going into them, pretty much trying to prepare your body for when, they got the technology right for the new currency, which is they got the technology right for the permanent marker that they're going to put inside you, to where you can buy, sell, and be tracked. It can operate in your body. So they altering your genetic engineering, which has been coming out that, those that was, taking them free throws, during this little, sham jam, the science was, they was already, doing it with that. You know what I'm saying? But they want to genetically engineer Jake's body to get the people prepared, to say the least. So as it says at the bottom, to achieve these objectives, it is the policy of my administration to, as you see right here, A, coordinate federal investment in key research. Jake the key, right? They're going to study and see what they need to do. They're looking to get data in order to further societal goals. You can read all that stuff yourself, but I'm just hitting the points. Train and support a diverse, going into Jake again, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which this is going to get specific. I'm going to bring it out. Skilled workforce and a next generation. So they're going to train, they pretty much in this order, it tells you that there's going to be more bio, etc. jobs. Like the whole infrastructure is about to change, and they're going to have the whole bio, this whole fake, bio-friendly, carbon footprinting, as the elder brother Ariala was going into, the brother, Rakai Yaquam, believe the brother name is, as far as that, and no shot, I'm just saying, that's, they was particularly going into that. But, and also, what was I just about to say? This whole eco-friendly crap, man. All right. You're going to see, them push more biodegradable stuff, which is crazy because this is what this is going into, right? But I'm just throw this out here. Biodegradable, it says products break down into carbon dioxide. So water vapor and organic material, which aren't harmful to the environment. So that's a cut. They cutting themselves. So if you creating biodegradable things through this order, but yet it's counterproductive because it pushes carbon dioxide, which goes into the carbon footprinting thing, right? How are you going to achieve? Is it? That's not even. It's not. Is it even really real? It's not even real. And it's a lie because it tell you that once again, which aren't harmful to the environment. But that's what they telling people it is. But I'm gonna say it. Pick back up. Train and support a diverse, skilled workforce and a next generation of leaders, which we already know what that go into, right? So they're gonna have dumb jakes, GMO baby niggas, little dumb young millennials, etc. on these jobs, that's completely futuristic, and just fake eco-friendly, just, they're gonna be pushing this out and they're gonna be skilled and trained in this. You're gonna have those that's with it, that went to school for it, knows that can just, just walk in and just get hands-on training. It's just a job, a warehouse job or something. It says of leaders from diverse groups of leaders from diverse groups. Let me read it again. Train and support a diverse, skilled workforce. Who the people that work? Jake. And a next generation, the young ones that don't know nothing, of leaders who they gonna set up to be leaders that are Jakes from diverse groups. See, they want this is concerning Jake. These are the next generation of leaders from the diverse groups, the minorities, to advance biotechnology and biomanufacturing. Because why? They know this. This is in a KJV. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. That's what they're trying to do. They got their eyes set on the poor. This in the NLT. For the leaders of the people have misled them. They have led them down a path of destruction. 2 Ezra 15. If one, behold, speak thou in the words of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. We got paperwork that they trying to do this, right? Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. See, everybody think this is a conspiracy. We just crazy. For all the unfaithful, which is what the incredulity means, shall die in their unfaithfulness, because they're going to think it's just a game. We just talking. They're going to get taken by these things, right? So we're going to jump to the point. It says, this is verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. The Lord putting it out here on Esau. He's exposing them, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock. See, who's his people? The Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And after people scattered abroad, it says, behold, my people, no matter what you look like. Right? Anyway, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. So there it is. The Lord is not, he's putting these people out. Right? For what they doing. 2 Ezra 15 and 52 in this chapter goes into all these nations for being like these other countries, for being like America, which that order is pointing out, which is going into Asia, right? But it says, what I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive the recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So there it is. So the Lord is not playing. All right. He's putting these people out. But anyway, once again, the whole point, Isaiah 9:16, it says, for the leaders of this people have misled them. They have led them down the path of destruction. Back in the KJV, for the leaders of this people caused them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. This is what they got, is, this paperwork exposing these. Once again, train and support a diverse, skilled workforce and a next generation of leaders from diverse groups to advance biotechnology and bio manufacturing. If you can't see it, you blind. And that's why they doing it, because they know they're going to pretty much pave the way to Jake believing this is okay to transition to, right? This phase of living and thinking and, standards, to where your guard's down and you're one with technology. You're one with, his whole thinking. And they genetically modifying you spiritually first, and then they want to do it, genetically engineering you spiritually. Then they want to do it, or people spiritually, through these clowns they set up, or these blind of our people, to lead the rest, so they can both fall into that ditch, that pit, that Esau's digs for them, that grave, because they're trying to achieve their goal, their enterprise. So this is basically this. So this is section 7, and what's spiritual about it? 7, right? That's the Esau. He deal with numerology and whatnot, and look what they put in the 7th section, right? Masonic rituals and all these different type of things, man. Rituals of Egypt, just Esau deep, man. But it says biotechnology and biomanufacturing workforce. That's what they're setting up. See that? It says expand training and education opportunities. All Americans. That's dealing with all Americans. That's obviously including Jake indirectly. That's speaking to Jake, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians indirectly. You don't believe me? Well, let's keep reading it. Biotechnology and biomanufacturing. This plan shall promote the implementation, as I'm reading, all the highlighted, as I said, all the indented, aka highlighted, right? This plan shall promote the implementation of formal and informal education and training, such as opportunities as technical schools and certificate programs. Who the main people that be in those programs? Who pushed you to Everest commercial? You sitting on the couch anyway, you ain't doing that. It says career and technical education and expanded career pathways into existing degree programs for biotechnology, biomanufacturing. See that? They're showing you the elite is involved because they own those schools and fund the curriculum of these different schools, these different colleges, which this order completely exposes. Esau telling on himself. It says this plan, right, included a focused discussion of historically black colleges and universities. Tribal, that's the Southern Kingdom. So-called Negroes, West Indians. Tribal colleges and universities. That's the Northern Kingdom. So-called Native American Indians and Latinos. It says and minority serving institutions. Agents. It says, and the extent to which agencies use existing statutory authorities, meaning Jake's that set up that Jake follows, paid off Jake's, to promote racial and gender. So Jesse Jackson, damn Al Sharpton, maybe Barack Obama, different lawyers and different people that's paid off, that's working for them, man, right? Your Dr. Kings and whatnot. It says to promote racial and gender equity and support undeserved communities. Going back into that order, right? No, all this was in section 7. Still don't believe me? Well, they give you at the end of the order the meaning of these terms. The terms equity and quote unquote equity in undeserved communities have meanings given those terms by sections. They tell you where you can get it. Going into that order, right? Which that order was explained earlier in the video. The term tribal, quote unquote, colleges and communities, quote unquote, it says has the meaning given, it says it come from an executive order. It could be explained in executive order 14049. And what's spiritual about it is 144 for the tribal colleges, what's going into the natives, which we know 144 is synonymous with who? The Hebrew Israelites. It says White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunity for Native Americans and strengthening tribal colleges and universities. See that? So-called Native American Indians. So they want to re-engineer genetically Jake's mind spiritually first so they can do it physically. They want to reprogram you. That's how you know we still in slavery. Because look how they got a plan laid out for us on how they're gonna, what they're gonna teach us next. Get the fuck out of here. It says the term quote unquote historically black colleges and universities comes from executive, can be explained in an executive order 14041. They're both 144. See that? Which 144, just like the natives, executive order, which explains the term they put on them, which is tribal colleges and universities, is also ours is also 144. The Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroes, West Indians, which 144 goes to the Israelites. It's synonymous with the Israelites because the only Israelites are 144,000. Let me read it. Revelation 14:1 in the KJV. And I looked, right? We could read this in the NIV first. Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. In the KJV, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the mountain, Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their forehead. See, 144. It's no coincidence. Revelation 7:4 in the NIV. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. See that? You can't make this up, man. Right? And I heard in the KJV the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. See? So you can't make it up. I believe this is section 7, which that I just read in the scriptures, the paperwork, the scriptures paperwork, the paperwork of the scriptures is is chapter 7, right? So that's just for those that can receive it. And once again, so the term historically black colleges, universities, right? It could be explained in the order, executive order 14041, right? Which was pretty set up last year. It's a White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence. Stay away from that excellence madness. It says an economic opportunity through historically black colleges and universities. How? Because they set them up. So they want to re-educate. They want to educate us on this. They want to re-educate us on this, right? Restructure our thinking. They have a plan coming up. The term minority, quote unquote, serving institution. You can find that in this code right here, right? And then they got foreign adversary, which we're foreigners. They consider us foreigners. They consider Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, foreigners, and the angels. And look what they put on that number. That's explained in Executive Order 14034. See that? So you can't make this up. Protecting Americans and sensitive data from foreign adversaries. So that's basically the point. This is the data. They're gearing the data age. What does they call it? The Forbes, they call it the DNA age, right? They want to, which is pretty much when they start getting bodies ready, getting the world ready for when they institutionalize something that the world has never seen before. People becoming money. Right? And they using all type of deceit and guile, and treachery to hide it, to accomplish it, to secretly do it, whatever. But it's all intended towards Jake, man. Because they know if they get us to take this, that we're going to be destroyed. They get Israel to take this. That's their way of trying to get rid of us, which they want to do. According to Proverbs, the 30th chapter, Psalms, the 83rd chapter. So many chapters, man. I just read it in second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. I mean, you just keep going. Psalms, the 64th chapter. All of these different chapters, right? Psalms, the 50th chapter. Yeah. But this is Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark or in his forehead, right? It says what? In the KJV, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So he know he got to go down, so he's going to try to take us down with him, according to Revelation 12:12. The devil know he got a short time, so he coming down having wrath. He know he got to give up the power seat, and he mad because he knows to who. On top of that, so we got paperwork, the Lord of God, we got, paperwork according to scriptures, and then the devil putting paperwork out on himself like a goofball. All right. So this is Proverbs 30 and 14, I want to say. It says, there is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. So they got their eyes set upon us, right? They in the NLT, they have teeth like swords and fangs like knives. They devour the poor from the earth, and the needy from among humanity. Why you think Yahushua was born to save his people, and why you think he said the meek shall inherit the earth, right? He with the lowly, because this is a ploy to destroy us, man. It's paperwork on it, but that's it. And what proves this? Because it's signature on it, the devil's signature. This order. So with that, call Halam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakodash. I don't know what I'm gonna title this per se, but it's clear. Shalom.